I'm Baratunde Thurston, host of America Outdoors. My inspiration for making this show in the beginning was just a chance to go outside again, in the way I did as a child when I was a Boy Scout, when I went camping with my mother in Maine and hiking along the Blue Ridge Mountains. I had gotten pretty disconnected from that part of myself that was connected to nature because of all the screens. And this show initially was exciting just to give me an opportunity to make that connection again. But I found a lot more than my inner child as I made this series. The power and presence of indigenous nations within the nation of the United States. I think a lot of us are brought up to think about indigenous people as an historic group of folks. We learn about them in history books and see their cultures represented in museums, and yet I got to connect with folks who are still here and maintaining that connection with the outdoors that some of us are much newer to. So it was a great honor to be able to learn from and spend time with the original inhabitants of this land. The idea of citizenship means something very special to me. And in making America Outdoors, I came across and got to spend time with folks who are making trails more accessible, folks who are bringing new Americans, immigrants, and refugees to connect with the land. Also, folks who've been here for many, many generations doing work on this land as ranchers and as watermen. I think this show helped expose me to the breadth of what it means to citizen through our differences as we connect to this common ground and common water that comprises this beautiful nation. When I signed up to make America Outdoors, I was excited to bring a broader lens to who we expect to see when we think of the outdoors. And we accomplished that well beyond my expectation. We have so many divisions that are amplified by our screens. And when I got to leave that behind, I got to connect with a lot of America. And I got to connect with people on some pretty difficult subjects about money, about race, about social disconnection through a shared connection. And at a time when the planet is heating up and the systems that have sustained us are getting out of balance and we're having a harder time living here, I think it's important to take time to reestablish that relationship with this source of life in us. Trees aren't just sources of wood to build houses, they are lungs beyond our bodies. And this series allows us to reconnect with nature with that kind of climate lens, but also to reconnect with each other through our shared existence on this planet, and in particular on this massive and beautiful land we call the United States of America.